Right now, NBC6 is everywhere.
Now at 11, an SUV that runs a stop sign causes a bus to crash into a store. The accident sending more than 20 people to the hospital.
Breaking news, a fight on board a school bus leads to a stabbing. Jihadi
John unmasked. The ISIS militant who has appeared in several execution videos has been identified.
Plus, Facebook has a new feature to help users who have thoughts of suicide.
Live. The news on NBC6 South Florida starts now.
Traffic mayhem as a county bus slams into a storefront.
And next thing I know, I hear the bus say, "Bomb!"
An SUV veers into the path of the bus. The driver ends up in cuffs.
People fell, they flipped, and then they had to open the window.
And more than 24 people, including some school kids, are hurt in the chaos.
Hello, I'm Pam Giganti.
And I'm Jawan Strader. NBC6 is everywhere. We have live team coverage of the crash. Reporter Steve Litz is at Jackson Memorial Hospital.
And both Julia Bagg and Bobby Brooks are there. Bobby Brooks are on the scene. We begin with Julia. She has details on exactly what happened. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Pam and Jawan. Let me show you. This gaping hole gives you an idea of just how serious this crash was, and it shows you what they mean when rescuers tell us this could have been a whole lot worse.
It just happened so fast.
One by one, rescuers rolled the wounded into ambulances. Police say an SUV ran a stop sign and collided with the county bus that slammed into a warehouse.
This bus was filled with people and even students.
Students headed for high school, adults headed for work. Through a side emergency exit and a back door, most people on the bus were able to walk away from the wreckage, but not the driver.
We also had several other people that were unable to get out of the bus, with the bus driver having the most serious injuries.
Police say they took the SUV driver into custody for something unrelated to the crash. The man's own teen daughter was rushed to the hospital.
She was very lucky that she didn't have more serious injuries.
It took a heavy-duty tow truck to haul the bus out of the building, leaving a gaping hole behind, the sign of a close call for some 24 people on board.
Now, no one was inside the warehouse when the crash happened. NBC6's Bobby Brooks has details here from witnesses. Bobby, tell us what you know now.
Well, Julia, thank you. You know, what a scary sight this had to have been as this bus and SUV collided. Witnesses say it all happened so quick. Right next to us, we have a close-up view of where it ran into this building. And from the people inside the bus, they say it all took too long, especially after impact. It was chaotic.
It just was a bad thing, bad experience.
Confusing.
It started smoking and everything. People fell, they flipped.
And when you see people on stretchers everywhere, it was scary to say the least.
Screeching and screaming.
Eyewitnesses tell us exactly how the bus and SUV collided.
All of a sudden, the car went out too much from this road right next to me, and the bus went at full speed and took away the car with it.
Well, EMS crews confirmed that witness account.
A Miami-Dade Transit bus that collided with a green SUV in the intersection.
When help arrived, they too described the mass casualty situation.
Some people that were climbing out of the windows, some people walking off the rear door with cuts and bruises, and then we also had several other people that were unable to get out of the bus.
Again, on board there were elderly people, men and women, and students from local high schools. One young woman recalls the crash from inside the bus.
Yeah, me and my friend hit our head like on the side of it, and then that's when we flipped, hurt our leg. My glasses flew, everybody fell, and then they had to open the window so we could come out of the window.
And from the view back outside, bystanders feared the absolute worst, and as one witness could only describe the impact in these words.
A bus making a ragdoll of a car.
Now back out live here, we have an even closer look now that the bus is gone of the damage, and you see how bad it is to this building. And when you get up close here and you see all of the wreckage, you understand now why witnesses feared the absolute worst when this first happened. For now live, Bobby Brooks, NBC6. South Florida.
All right, Bobby, and our team coverage moves now to the victims. NBC6 reporter Steve Litz is live at Jackson Memorial Hospital where dozens were sent. And Steve, any condition updates yet?
No, Jawan, hospital officials still figuring this one out, but we can report nobody with life-threatening injuries in connection to this crash. Treating mass casualties is what trauma centers do. They do it well here at Jackson. When they get more than a dozen victims show up, there's no need to call in extra staffers. They are ready to treat these victims. That's what they did. In this situation, more than 20 people were hurt. Some were considered walking wounded, Jawan, so ambulances were able to double up and triple up with patients, and then many of them rushed here to Jackson Memorial Hospital. Most, as we said, were slightly hurt, and you heard Captain Carroll there with the fire department talk about how the driver suffered the worst injuries. He, of course, was at the very front of the bus, and you saw from that video how the front of the bus bore the impact of the crash. About a dozen ambulances responded from several nearby fire stations. We talked with one victim. She had her bike on the front of the bus. She was napping, then the crash.
Yeah, I was going to work, and I was on the front of the bus. My bicycle's totally lost, and we were sitting there. I laid my head down on my helmet to get a few Z's, and next thing I know, I hear the bus say, "Bomb!" like that.
So it was a total of 24 victims. That is the latest number we have from officials, but that number can be fluid. Again, hospital officials are still trying to figure out exactly how many people they treated, but the numbers we have from the fire department is that a total of 24 hurt, 22 rushed here to Jackson, 2 over to Mercy. You look at that video and you see the impact there, wondering how more people weren't more seriously hurt, but in this case, thankfully, everybody is expected to survive. Live at Jackson today, I'm Steve Litz, NBC6 South Florida.
And we are following some breaking news out of Pompano Beach this midday. A fight on a school bus between two parents leaves one with a stab wound. NBC6's Sharon Lawson explains.
Hey guys, still very much an active scene out here on Northwest 27th Avenue and 5th Street where a woman was stabbed this morning. Take a look behind me. You see that authorities have cordoned off the area where two parents reportedly behaving badly got into a violent fight. All of this.
Weather on NBC6 South Florida is sponsored by Service America. You take care of your family. Let Service America take care of your home repairs. Plan starting at $22.95 a month.
One Ohio woman is dreaming of spring. She painted bright pictures featuring sunshine and flowers on her snowy white canvas.
And in case our work it is enough, the message is clearly put into words. Think spring. The first day of spring is March 20th.
Oh, we have a ways to go.
Yeah, they're over it.
They're so over the snow. All right, that does it for us. Thanks so much for watching. 6 in the Mix with Roxanne Vargas is next. Have a good one.
The weekend is almost here, but how will the weather shape up? I'll tell you about some shower chances and a slight cool down in your first alert forecast.
And I'll show you how to avoid the morning rush.
Watch NBC6 South Florida today as soon as you wake up.
Lady Gaga adding a new title to her resume. I'm sure you've heard. I'm Roxanne Vargas. Mother Monsters topping your Hollywood headlines. Yeah, she's finally signed up to join the next season of the television show American Horror Story. The series, which changes themes from season to season, will focus on a hotel, with Lady Gaga joining the cast that will once again feature Jessica Lange. Lady Gaga, not the first singer to join American Horror Story. Voice coach Adam Levine, head guy of Maroon 5, was in season 2. Her past acclaimed role helped hunt down Osama bin Laden in Zero Dark 30, and now she'll be hunting down a hunk in her next role. Talking about Jessica Chastain. She signed on to the Snow White prequel, The Huntsman, and will star opposite Chris Hemsworth as his love interest. Not much more is known about the film, but Chastain joins a cast that also includes Oscar winner Charlize Theron, who will be back to reprise her role as the evil queen. Vin Diesel and his longtime girlfriend Paloma Jimenez are expecting their third child, according to published reports. Diesel credits the late Paul Walker for helping him transition into fatherhood, with his kids calling Walker Uncle Pablo. Well, another top trending moment, a night of thrills and one epic spill that is still trending. The Brit Awards in London welcomed the biggest stars who saw one star falling, literally.